Still not focused on me. Why is it not focused on me? There we go. Could have just done that in the first place. All right. What is up, you guys? No, I hated that. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I should say that this is another Princess Tip video. You know, we're just gonna... Yeah, maybe let's not do that. Sadie, always popping in my videos. Always popping in my videos. Can you say hi to the camera? And not to me? Can you say hi to the camera? And show how cute you are? Say, hello, I still need a haircut, even today. She's not gonna get a haircut for a while. They're literally all booked up. Don't mind my makeup. I literally am not gonna look like this all the time. I want my YouTube to be very, like, unleashed. I don't know how to explain. Like, I'm not gonna be done up all the time. I just got back from dinner, had some makeup on, and now I'm filming this video. So that's why I look like this. Actually, I'm not gonna say where I'm selling this weekend because that makes me scared. I don't know. I'm not ready for that yet. I don't have security. Once I have security, then I will tell you guys before where I'm selling, because I don't know, that shit just scares me for right now. Even though I like literally told people I was selling at Washington Square Park. I don't know how I feel about telling people where I am. I really don't. Anyway, we're just gonna move past that. I'm selling this weekend somewhere in North Carolina. If you guys know where I'll be, you'll know where I be, and you should come check me out, buy some stuff. Yeah. What is up, y'all? I'm back with another video. Today we're gonna be talking about my business and why I started it, how I started it, and all the things behind that. I have like a couple questions written down here on my iPad that if you see me looking down, it's just because I have like touch points that I want to hit. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. I've had a lot of people ask me this, and I'm glad that I'm doing a YouTube video on it, because I've had a lot of people ask me like when I started my business, why I started my business, like a bunch of things. So this is just gonna be a video like all on that and all about my business, because I never really like got to talk about it. I kind of just like started it, and then it was just like a thing that I had. So yeah, let's just jump right in. The first question that I get a lot is, when did I start my brand and why did I start my brand? I started my brand back in, I want to say July of 2020, but I started like making clothes, and like I think my first drop was in October of 2020. So I like registered my business and did everything in July or June, not really sure which month. I should know the month because, you know, that was like the day that it became an LLC. You know, it's Tiffany Garuba LLC. That's the name of my brand. So it's basically just me plus LLC at the end of it. My Instagram is shop.tiffanygaruba. Make sure you go follow that, and my website is shop.tiffanygaruba.com if you want to buy something. Got this cool sweatshirt out right now. I registered my business in July of 2020. It was right along the time of when the Black Lives Matter movement started. I was in North Carolina because of COVID and everything like that, and I started it simply because I felt like I had no voice. There were a bunch of protests going on and I couldn't be a part. A lot of my friends were going in New York, and a lot of them were attending and protesting, and I just couldn't because I was here alone in North Carolina. I know one of my friends, Takaya, was in North Carolina as well because it was the pandemic and we all had to like go back home and whatnot, but I couldn't go because my parents basically just were telling me that it was really dangerous, and that's just like how things were in my household then, and I couldn't really participate. This was the best thing that I could do at the time for myself, and I always have drawn, I've always painted, I've always done things of that sort as a creative outlet. So I just figured, why not just, you know, start my brand now? I literally have always wanted to have a fashion company or a fashion brand since I was young, like literally since I was I don't even know, since I can always remember, I've always wanted to have one. Years before starting, I think freshman year of college, I had always just made clothes. Like, I would make like graphic t-shirts for myself for dance, and I would wear them to dance, and people would be like, oh my gosh, that is so sick, I want one. And I'd be like, it was custom, like I made it myself, you can't really buy it anywhere and whatnot. So I think that's what kind of influenced me to do it, because I was already making clothes and I was giving clothes to my friends and things like that. Like, they would buy clothes from me, they would buy graphic t-shirts and whatnot, and I would just get like whatever artist they would want, and I would just put it on the front of a t-shirt, and it's kind of started out like that. During the pandemic, I learned how to screen print, and I got an embroidery machine. I learned how to embroider, so I started doing that, and then like my company just kind of like came together. It all just seemed like it was meant to be, in a sense. My first collection was a Black Lives Matter collection. My designs did start out very, 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 very basic. I literally just had like Black Lives Matter on a t-shirt, on a sweatshirt. This was the best way that I could show how I was feeling at the time. And yeah, that's pretty much how I started my brand and why I started my brand. I have had my own business before. When I was like younger, I used to make cheer bows because I was a cheerleader, so I would make cheer bows for people, and that like actually got a lot of traction, which was like really interesting. I wish I still had the Instagram for it, but if I don't, which kind of sucks, and I wish I did so I could go back and see like what cheer bows I used to make. I know they were pretty cool. Like, I have like the materials, I still have the materials. And my dad, he has his own practice. He's a doctor, he's an internal medicine doctor, and he has his own practice and his own clinic. So entrepreneurial, I don't know if I'm saying that word right, but it's always been in my family. They were always willing to answer my questions and how to like start it. And my mom, love my mom, because she was always by my side every single step of the way, helping me learn how to screen print and learn how to do those things. I remember it was so hard for me on occasion, because screen printing is hard, especially like when you're first starting out. There's a lot of trial and error, and when I mean a lot of trial and error, there is a lot of trial and error. And I'm like a perfectionist, and I won't put anything out unless I think it's perfect and I absolutely love it. My mom was always there to calm me down when I was literally like, why is this not working? Why is this not happening? So that was always amazing of her. It's so funny to think about, because I have grown so much so quickly, like with my designs and with my business and with screen printing and embroidering and things like that. I literally used to just have just like Black Lives Matter on a little screen printing silk screen, and I would get anxious every time I would be about to screen print, because like I had no idea how it was gonna turn out, whether I would waste a shirt or a sweatshirt or not. There were so many t-shirts and sweatshirts that I wasted in the beginning. Not wasted, because, you know, I was like growing and learning how to do it. But now it's just like, screen print, let's go, screen print, let's go. Like, and it's just so quick and easy. So that's very interesting. I'm always very humbled by how like I started and whatnot, and just really amazed with where things have gone and how I feel about screen printing now. Don't get me wrong, there are still very, very many trial and error runs that I have to go through, and it is still hard, but I'm so much more confident than I was like in the very beginning. I would say at the time when I first started my brand, it was difficult simply because of what I was going through as a human being and in my mental space was really, really dark. It wasn't difficult to actually get my brand off the ground simply because I knew what I wanted to put out. I knew who I was as a person, so in that sense it wasn't difficult. Making and registering it, because I had such a specific goal in mind, it wasn't that hard, because I was ready. I was ready to go. I wanted this thing done. I wanted it registered so that way I wouldn't have any problems in the future of like, I don't know, with the IRS and things like that. So doing that like wasn't that hard because I knew my goal and I knew what I wanted to do with my business. And even then, even though I was in a bad mental space and things like that, I knew things were going to get better. And I knew where I wanted to take this in the future. So it wasn't hard. I knew what I wanted. That's what I wanted. So I went after it and I got it. That's literally how it was. When people see that I have my own brand and how much I like love fashion and like dressing up and things like that, they always ask me like why I didn't go to school for fashion. And to be honest, I've never had an answer, and I mean I have kind of an answer now. Do I think I should have gone to school for fashion? Yes. Do I think it was a waste of time going to school for what I went to school for? No, not at all. I went to school and got my degree in psychology and fashion marketing. The fashion marketing aspect wasn't as great as I would have hoped for it to be, simply because there was just not a lot of fashion classes. Like there was one fashion marketing class and the rest of it was just marketing in general, which I don't know if that's how it is at every single school like for fashion marketing, but that's just how it was at my school, and it was mainly focused on other things that I was not interested in whatsoever. So it didn't really have anything to do with fashion, so I wasn't as interested and invested in that minor as I could have been. But I went to school for psych, and I feel as if I went to school for psych because I had a lot of problems growing up. I was extremely depressed for a good amount of the first 18 years of my life, and I thought, you know, like I want to be a psychologist. I want to help other kids who are going through what I'm going through and whatnot, and I still do feel that way. I still want to help kids that feel the way that I felt when I was growing up. I think mental health is very, very important, and having gone to school for psych, I understand myself so much more, and I understand other people so much more and why they do what they do and why I do what I do. But I don't think that that was ever the end goal for me. It's very interesting because ever since I was young, I always knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be in fashion. I knew I wanted to dance. And I knew I always wanted to help people, especially like coming like from my dad. He's a doctor, so I knew that helping people was definitely a passion of mine. But I think when I was about 17, 18 years old was when I really started to take an interest in psychology and was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. But you know, as an 18-year-old, you don't really know. And I think it's really interesting that now I'm going back to everything that I wanted to be as a kid and like what I've always dreamed of being. I always tell people college is not necessary unless you're going into being a doctor, being a lawyer, something that you literally need to go to school for. Like, it is not necessary. You can do many other things to break into the industry that you want to break into, and that is truly how I feel, simply because I literally have my own brand. I literally have my own brand and have met so many people that, you know, can help me in the future, can help me break into the industries that I want to break into, simply because I'm putting myself out there and putting myself forward. Do I think I'll go back to school and go to fashion school? Maybe one day, because, you know, sewing is freaking hard. It is really freaking hard. So yeah, possibly, but like, I don't know, there's also so many online resources that you can explore into aside from just YouTube that will also help you with sewing and doing whatever you want to do. I also feel like I can still help people a lot. There's this brand that really inspires me, Madhappy. I absolutely love that brand. They use mental health to make the world a better place, essentially. I think that's what their motto is. So it literally says, mad happy and optimistic lifestyle label, creating products and experiences to make the world a more optimistic place. They talk about mental health a lot, and that's like kind of the direction that I want to go with my company. I want to help people so much, and I want people to be inspired by me, my story, my brand, by literally everything, and just to realize that mental health is something that everyone needs to talk about because it is so very important. Overall, like, I'm really happy that I did go to school for psych. I think my vision has changed from wanting to be a psychologist, but it has changed from wanting to be a psychologist because I know that I can still bring an impact to people and still help people without being a psychologist. Obviously, we need a lot more Black psychologists in the world, but that is just not something that I'm 100% passionate about and something that I think about day in and day out. And I know that I can bring fashion into people's lives and also bring mental health into people's lives and just combine everything and make it be amazing.
Já viu rico namorar pobre?